Hi guys, thank you for stopping by. My name is Natalie. I sell vintage and pre-loved designer fashion at styledunder.com. My channel is all about slow fashion, sustainable living, as well as health and wellness. If this is your first time here, welcome. I drop videos 2 days a week, every Mondays and Wednesdays, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today, we're talking about how to clean the vachetta on your Louis Vuitton bag. I have an Alma PM here in need of some cleaning. I've already cleaned the hardware on this bag. So now we're going to focus on the vachetta. You're going to need some natural wipes. Make sure that they don't have any alcohol in them. So the natural brand tends to be the more, like for sensitive skin, the more gentle one on your baby. So when it comes to caring for leather, especially vintage bags, you want to make sure that you are being gentle by using gentle products and also using gentle techniques so that you're not ruining your bag. So Huggies has a really good brand of sensitive skin that you can use for some gentle cleaning. You're also going to need a leather conditioner. I found this brand to be the very best on the market. I like how it smells. I like the texture of it. It's a little bit more pricey per volume compared to some of the other ones. I'm not necessarily saying that's the only way to do it. All I'm saying is that is the best way to do it. I do have some other ones that I use as well that are not this brand, so it's not a bad idea to experiment, see what feels right for you. But for me, I can definitely say that this brand is the best. It's just the best on every level. It's the right amount of everything that you're gonna need as far as cleaning your bag is concerned. All you're gonna do is shake your bottle vigorously and just pour it on your wipes or pour it directly onto your bag. You want to be very generous with the conditioner so that it can really soak in. You notice at the beginning of the video the bag around the edges look dry. That's because that you can tell the leather has not been conditioned. It also has some watermarks at the bottom, or as we call them, water stains. We're gonna see if those are gonna come out during part 2 of this video. So this is part 1, which is more of a light cleaning to see what we can get off of it. And then part 2 is gonna be cleaning it with saddle soap, which is a little bit more heavy-handed. I'm gonna try to see if I can remove some of those watermarks. I'm not too optimistic, but it's worth a shot. Generously rub it everywhere. We're not applying any force. It may look like I'm like pressing it down and rubbing it like really forcefully, but I'm not at all. I'm just spreading it around. My only purpose with this is to get it to soak in. That's all we're doing. Especially with vintage bags, you want to be very careful with how you go about conditioning your bag or cleaning the bag the light way. Because if you either add too much conditioner and add too much force, you can actually crack your leather. And once your leather is cracked, there's really not much you can do about that. So you want to be gentle in everything that you do with leather, especially vintage leather. So a big part of it is making sure that when you're adding the conditioner, you are focusing on spreading it so it can soak in. So while you're conditioning it for the first time, you're giving it some moisture. Some of these bags may have not had that moisture or that level of moisture in a very long time. So if you overdo it with the moisture, which is the goal here, you want to hydrate it and overdo it with the moisture. But if you couple that up with force, what you're gonna do is create disruption. I don't know about you, but before I went plant-based and started learning about veganism, I didn't really think about leather very much. But leather is skin. It's the skin of an animal. An animal, unfortunately, was killed to make this bag. So when you think about your own skin, if your own skin has not been moisturized, washed in the shower for years, and if your own skin has not had any lotion or cream or butters on it for years, and after like 20, 30, 15 years, you get a lot of water added to your skin and then roughed up with a lot of heavy scrubbing, I don't think that would feel very good. So it's that same concept. This is a sensitive material. We just want to treat it with that kind of honesty, which is that it's sensitive. It's someone's skin. It's, aged. It's vintage. It requires, gentle hands and gentle strategies to clean it. The main thing to look out for when you're cleaning your bag are the handles. If you're gonna screw up your bag, most likely the handle is where you're gonna do it, because that part of the bag tends to crack the most easily. I think the way the Alma PM is built, or the Almas in general, especially the vintage kind, that's less of an issue. But with some of the other bags like the Speedies, the way those are built, even vintage, they tend to be softer because the Speedy was designed to be a bag that you would take on a quick trip. So it's like all like urban life, like quick vacation, quick trip on the subway. Some of those get really damaged from a lot of conditioner being added and a lot of friction being given to the bag. I'm not too worried about it for this bag, but I'm just sharing in general when it comes to being extra gentle. I would say give that energy to your handle. The handles are, yeah, they're very, very sensitive. And if you notice that your handles already have like crack marks on them in the leather, I'm not saying that the leather is broken, but you can see when it's dry, it has marks on it that show you where the lines are. If you notice that, then you already know that the bag itself has not been well conditioned. So that's kind of your cue to go easy on it. And if you're nervous about it cracking after you add the conditioner, then one of the things that I do is I go in the same direction. Again, with this bag, I'm not worried. There are no cracks on it. The handle actually looks pretty clean. You will see later from the cleaning that the handles actually came out with the least amount of dirt on them. So whoever owned this bag before did a really good job of keeping the handle clean, keeping their hands clean, and not touching their bags when their hands are dirty. And also probably conditioning the handles more frequently. I can see that the leather's been well taken care of in general. And if you're nervous about it, just go in one direction. Instead of going back and forth like I'm doing now, just go in one direction. So left to right, left to right, left to right. That way you're not creating friction. You're just laying it down in one direction. That really helps with also making sure that you're being safe and you're not going to have a surprise tomorrow. Usually when I clean it like this and condition like this, I let it stay overnight untouched, just to really give it time to get in there, get in the fibers, get in the material, so that tomorrow when I'm ready to use a microfiber cloth to go over it, I can know for sure that it's dried fully, it really penetrated the material, and it's just going to come out looking, as shiny as possible. Once I'm done with the conditioning part, then I'm going to clean the canvas, and that bag is going to be ready for listing. So you can see there isn't really much to it. This is kind of the light way of cleaning a bag. It's a good idea to condition your bag regularly. You would know when it needs to be conditioned. If it's looking dry, it's losing a little bit of its color, looking a little dull, then you know it's time. Because when it's nicely conditioned, it should look like brownish, like cocoa brown, kind of like how it looks now. Just, gorgeous, glowy, like a yellowish, brownish kind of color. If it doesn't look that way and it looks dull, then something needs to be done about that. And here we go, we're all done. It's looking a lot better already. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel for videos every Monday and Wednesday. You can shop my sustainable vintage designer accessory pieces at styledunder.com and connect with me on social media at styledunder25. Now, if you're one of those weirdos like me that like to see how dirty things are, that like to examine the dirt on things after you've cleaned them, just so you can know how dirty it really was, or feel good about how good of a job you've done cleaning it, this is just for you. You can see all the dirt that came off of it. I mean, obviously you can tell that just by looking at the bag, but these wipes tell a very different story. So it's a good idea to clean your bags regularly and condition them so that they can stay in great condition for as long as possible. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Take care of yourselves. Au revoir.